Well, the fixtures are real, but are they accurate? It seems like these days everybody's trying to get a picture for the internet. Everything looks perfect if you filter it right and if you take the picture from the right angle. So it's time to empty the tub out for the winter. Figured to be a good time to give a review of what my actual experiences have been with it. We chose a 8-foot wide one. Chose the plastic or composite material largely because we thought it would be cooler than the metal one, and because it's blue, and swimming pool water should look blue, and so you have a head start if you have a blue container to put it into, and just lighter, easier to work with. Figured to have a better chance getting a seal when we were putting in the hoses to go to the pump. And so far, I mean, we've been happy with that choice. If I was to do it again, I would pick the plastic again. They also come in 6-foot diameter and 10-foot. 8-foot seemed good for us. It fit our deck well. It was enough to, fit 4 to 6 adults pretty comfortably, I think. Kind of worried with 6-foot that, you'd kind of have to like the person if you're in there with them, because you might be touching toes in the middle or something. So, and this is a pretty good size. The grandkids have fun playing in it. It's, definitely not a swimming pool by any means, but it's enough that they can get all the way underwater. We've had a slide out there for them to play on and slide into it, and they've really enjoyed it also. Used Intex pump. I think it was a 635T, if I remember right. Just uses a paper filter. So, I mean, pretty basic stuff. It's the kind of stuff that seems to come with above ground swimming pools that are, considerably larger and considerably deeper. And from the people I've talked to, they have a real hard time keeping up with them. Like maybe the filter just isn't up to the task, and all of that exposed area around here, people have a lot of problems with algae growing in those, and so they're doing shock treatments and just a lot of upkeep. And even with all the upkeep, there seem to tend to fall behind. People I've talked to have a rough time with the above ground pools. While I'm here, just have a little plastic container to put a chlorine tablet in. It just floats in there. We pull it out when we've got people in it, and we just toss it in when nobody's there. It'd probably be fine to leave it in when people are there too, but if you don't need a floating bobber hanging around with you, put in a new chlorine tablet about once a week. With this, had no difficulties keeping it clean. It used a skimmer to skim off the top. Probably the main thing is have a cover on it. When I'm not using it, we keep a cover on it. I think that prevents any algae from growing, and it keeps a lot of the trash from getting in there. If it rains or something, you're going to get water build up on the cover, and there's no way to keep that all from getting into the pool. You're going to have this, you can't remove that cover and not get water into your pool water. But you do have the opportunity to skim that off first and get rid of the bulk of the debris before you get whatever residue you're going to end up getting into your water. So cover, top priority in my opinion, if you want to enjoy the tub / pool / watering trough. Picked up just got a stray piece of hose from the landfill, and random piece of tapered plastic neck from a bottle of fuel additive. But I just made my own little vacuum to get to the bottom, and in the suction port I just insert that plug, and voila, that is my vacuum to get the bottom of the pool. So real simple to do. I mean, you could use stray vacuum cleaner hose, or whatever random thing you could come up with to create spend the money and buy a vacuum. I didn't go with any vacuum attachment on the end. I tried them and they just seemed to not have as much suction as I wanted, and as small as this is, just seemed to work best just using the open end of the hose. The pumps are just for looks. I was going to plumb those in, but ultimately decided not to because my grandkids use this a lot, and with my own kids, if they took bumps and bruises and hurt themselves, I was all for it. You know, I don't want wimpy kids. I want tough kids, and you know, some bruises and bumps are good for them. But when it's my grandkids, it's a different story. They're not mine to break, so we pull these out when the grandkids are playing, just because I don't want a kid smacking their head and then I've got to look at the scar on their eye for the rest of my life. The sprayer, we actually unhook it a lot of times because it sprays too far. It'd be better in a large size pool. It's nice visually at night if we're sitting out here because it's got a light that, you know, underneath the spray, and so it's attractive visually, but when you're actually in the pool, it's, you know, not as great. So we'll usually just unhook it and run the hose straight into the top of the pool, and that seems to work best for us. Just have the pump underneath the deck, runs to the suction side that goes in the middle of the pool, and then the discharge size that pumps the water back in to the pool is just run up to the top there into the sprayer right now. To drain the pool, just have some PVC pipe with a butterfly valve, and what I'll do there, that's clearing the concrete, but I will add an extension to that when I actually want to let off any significant amount of water. Alright, that's good enough to get the idea. So that's what I'll do when I actually, just mainly because the water kind of runs, our slope runs back towards that concrete a little bit. So just to get it out past that, I'll add that extension. One thing that I was concerned about was that the water would heat up too much during the, you know, heat of the summer. We've had times where our lake around here has felt like it was pea warm, but we really didn't have any problems with that. I guess because we kept the cover on when we weren't using it, and because maybe it's because it's under the deck and so it's in the shade all the time, and it's got the concrete under it that would maybe soak up some cool at night. I don't know, but we really didn't have a problem with the water heating up. And honestly, if it had, it would have been that big a deal. It's not that big that, you know, you drain off some of the warm and run some fresh cool water in. It really wouldn't have bothered me if it had heated up, because we could have fixed that quick enough. I guess the next thing would be, how much are you going to use this thing? A lot of times things make pretty pictures. A picnic, a picture of a picnic with an attractive other person, or a person that you find attractive at least, it looks awesome. Reality of a picnic is you got flies all over you, you got ants crawling up your butt, you got a stick poking you, and you've got the wind blowing your paper plate away, and they're much better pictures than they are reality, and a lot of things seem to be that way. This, I will say, didn't use it as much as you would in your fantasies, but we did use it quite a bit. Really not that much of a hassle to just yank a cover off and jump in there. So yeah, it's I would say if you think you're going to use it every day, if you got kids, you probably will. But if you're a grown up like me, you know, you're at work at noon and it's 100 degrees and you think, boy, I'm going to get home and I'm going to take a dip in there. That's going to be awesome. You get home, you spend 5 minutes in the AC, and you look outside and go, yeah, no, I don't want to go pull that cover off. I'm good right here. So yeah, used it enough to justify having it. So I guess my verdict would be, if you're considering it, I don't see any reason why not to give it a try.